This is FYF Sportsman. It's Lamont. We back with another NBA news and update video. Today we're going to be discussing the NBA 2020 free agency, where players might land, where they are now, and where we forecast they might end up in the 2020-21 season. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button, make sure you comment on videos, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you can stay actively engaged with all of the content that we drop when we go live, and also when we have a lot of the giveaways that we offer. So again, smash the subscribe and hit that notification bell. But again, today we're going to be talking about the NBA's top 12 free agents. The free agency going into 2020 is going to be a bit different, just based on the financial climate and the changes that were brought about by the pandemic. But we're going to go ahead and get started with this free agent list. And we're going to start with Christian Wood of the Detroit Pistons at number 12, 25 years old, averaged 13.1 points per game. When Andre Drummond was traded, they were able to feature this young man at the center position. And again, this is part of that new wave of small ball. Christian Wood definitely does not play small. He's an athletic, versatile big who can do it all, even extend his game out to the three-point line and take threes when necessary. He excelled with Derrick Rose on that Piston team. But again, I think he kind of outplayed his value. I do not know if the Pistons will be ready to pay what this guy is going to demand in the open market this year. A lot of teams are going to be looking for a lengthy power forward who can not just score from the outside, but actually put the ball on the floor in the paint and score in the post as well. So he is athletic, he's young, he's hungry, and we saw a lot of what this guy can do in Detroit when Andre Drummond was traded. So I like what Christian Wood has to offer. I like this guy potentially signing with the Los Angeles Lakers if they can make the money work. Next up at 11, we got Joe Harris, 14.5 points per game at 29 years old. Man, this guy's not just a sniper, but he can D up one of your better perimeter offensive players as well. So he's kind of transitioned to his game since getting drafted out of Cleveland. He's become a great corner three-point shooter, but he's also developed a game where he can put the ball on the ground and get inside and make the mid-range shot as well. So I like what Joe Harris can bring to a team. He's probably going to command anywhere between 12 to 15 million per season with any team that he signs with. Again, there are a lot of teams that could use a guy like this. Any team could really use a 3-and-D type of guy. But the teams that are probably most interested in the Joe Harris would be the Los Angeles Clippers, maybe even the Dallas Mavericks, who also need length out there. At number 10, we have Gordon Hayward, 30 years old, 17.5 points per game. Now, this year was a bit of a down year. He dealt with a lot of knick-knack injuries. He does have a player option. However, I just don't see Gordon Hayward opting out of his contract to go into free agency. He has a $30 million player option that he could choose to pick up if he decides to forego that player option and go into free agency. There are a lot of teams out there that could potentially use a guy of this caliber. Not necessarily sure where he would go. It would probably be all about the money, especially if he's going to be giving up a $30 million player option. But again, the one thing that worries me about him is his health. At number 9, we got Jeremy Grant. He showed us a lot in his 6th year in Denver. He finally kind of broke out his shell in the playoffs this year, showing a lot of versatility on the perimeter, being as one of the most elite defenders on that team. Going against the Lakers in the playoffs, he showed that he could guard the likes of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. We saw him shut down the Los Angeles Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. He also expanded his offensive game. Now, not just with his athleticism and all of the dunks at the rim, but we're talking about a guy who has been able to extend his range to the three-point line and has become a very reliable three-point shooter as well. So again, I like what he can bring to a team. However, teams need to they need to sign him with caution. This is the first year. This was the first year that we saw this guy explode out of his shell. And again, that's just something to look for. We got Danilo Gallinari at age 32. All signs are pointing for this guy to sign with the Miami Heat. He originally had looked to seek a trade with them. They could not work out the terms to a contract extension. Nothing has changed. He still has publicly voiced his interest in signing with the Miami Heat, but you're talking about a guy who can kind of do it all. He struggles on the defensive end, but offensively, he has the mid-range. He has the three ball. All right, he has the handle for his size. He can do it all. So again, I love this guy with a team like the Golden State Warriors. If he can start or even come off the bench just to be that go-to scorer, to take some of that scoring burden off of a guy like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, that's something that they would love to have. All right, we got Bojan Bogdanovic, man, the restricted free agent out of Sacramento. I expect Sacramento to match any offer out there for this guy. This guy's electrifying. Not only can he shoot the ball lights out, but he can put the ball on the floor and do whatever you need. He took Buddy Hield's starting role in Sacramento, never relinquished it. And surprisingly, the defensive metrics are highly in his favor. Shows that he's an elite defender on the perimeter. He's great with the pick and roll. He's great playing offensively off the pick and roll. So I think Luke Walton and that staff out there, I think they love what they have in this kid. I don't see him leaving Sacramento. But if he does get to the open market, you're going to have teams like the Milwaukee Bucks going after this man to add, not, to give him floor spacing. Montrezl Harrell at number 6, man. This is the mystery right here. This is the mystery player right here. 18.6 points per game, 6th man of the year, an undersized big at 6'7". You would assume that he would stay with the Clippers. With all the success that they've had, they did have a big letdown in the playoffs this year. But are there better options out there? We've been hearing Toronto, we've been hearing the Knicks, we've been hearing the Heat, we've been hearing a lot of other teams out there, and we know that he's been a bit disgruntled. I know 4 weeks ago he said, there were all signs pointing to this guy staying with the Clippers, but things have changed since then. And this guy could potentially be making a move out of LA. He could find himself on another team very, very soon. So again, I just want to wait till he's actually signed, and we can just kind of see where he lands from there. But as of right now, he's with the Clippers. The Clippers desperately need him to shore up that bench. Next up, we got Fred VanVleet at number 5, 17.6 points a game, 26-year-old. This guy, we know what he can do. We know what he can do. We saw it in the NBA Finals. We saw it in that NBA Finals run when they had Kawhi Leonard. This guy came off the bench, was extremely dynamic. Although he is a bit undersized, he just finds a way to get it done. Whether it's hitting the three ball from deep, whether it's driving, getting inside amongst the trees, he's just found a way to get it done in this league. He's highly efficient. He's a physical guard. He doesn't get hurt. He shows up to every game, and he's extremely efficient. Again, the only thing you would have to worry about is his size. Is he going to be able to defend outside of that Toronto Raptors system? That's a defensive-oriented system. Is that defensive system? Is that the system that's hiding his defensive flaws, or can he defend at his height in the NBA? That's yet to be seen. Number 4, we got DeMar DeRozan. He has a player option coming out of San Antonio. I feel like he had a down year, although he did average 22 points per game. I don't know if he'll opt out. I don't know if the money that he's making now, I don't know if it's out there. But again, this is a LA guy. He's from LA. We know that he would love to get back to LA, and either one of the LA teams could use him. The Clippers can use a guy that can make plays and be dynamic. The Lakers can definitely use a guy like this who can make plays without having to rely on LeBron James to feed them the ball. He would definitely add an element to that offense, making them even more elite. So I like what DeMar DeRozan can bring with the Spurs. Again, I don't think he has much of a future with that team. I think the Spurs should just go into all-out rebuild mode, especially with Popovich at the tail end of his career, because it just does not feel or look as if DeMar DeRozan is happy in San Antonio. Next up, we got Andre Drummond. He's another guy with a hefty player option. He has a player option of about $26 million at 17.7 points per game and 15 rebounds a game. A lot of teams could use this, but is that style of play phased out? We know he struggles mightily from the free throw line. He struggles with the 3-point line, so he's not going to be able to space the floor for you, but he's going to get you multiple possessions. He's going to get you extra possessions. He's the best offensive rebounder in the league. And a team like the Golden State Warriors, if they can make it work, would love to have a guy like this. Now, this Cleveland Cavalier team that he's kind of stuck on now, they have Tristan Thompson. They have Kevin Love. You know, what are they going to do with all these bigs? All right. Are they going to get rid of these bigs and play for the future? All right. We got Brandon Ingram, again, a restricted free agent with the New Orleans Pelicans, 23.8 points a game. First time All-Star, was able to come out of his shell, traded from the Lakers. And when he had that opportunity to play without LeBron James, he made the most of it. He showed that he is one of the most elite, offensively gifted players in the league. And I like what he can do. New Orleans Pelicans will match any offer. They will offer this man the max. And he probably will be in New Orleans going in the next season, barring any ridiculously unforeseen circumstances. But this man right here, he's going to be a force in the league for the years to come. Definitely going to be a force with a prototype build like Kevin Durant, with a silky smooth game that kind of mirrors Kevin Durant. I love the future of this young guy right here, especially with this team. And I can't wait to see what new coach they bring in to coach this man up. But number one free agent is going to be Anthony Davis at 26 points per game. This dude, this is a unicorn. There's really nothing bad you can say about a guy like Anthony Davis. He does it all. He can take you onto the perimeter as a 7-footer, so he can destroy he can destroy bigs by putting them on the perimeter. He can destroy bigs by taking them into the post. He can make the three. He can make the mid-range. He can drive to the basket. He can pass. Probably should have been the MVP of the league. He's definitely the best player on the Lakers right now, even though they have a LeBron James. There were playoff series that they absolutely could not have won without this guy. He's just an unreplaceable piece. There's not much you can say about a guy like Anthony Davis, but he's definitely going to re-sign with the Lakers. I don't see him leaving after that championship run, with him being an integral piece. Him and LeBron James, it almost seems like the perfect duo. I think this is probably the best duo that we've seen with LeBron James, even better than Kyrie or even Wade. But I want you guys to let me know what you think. What do you think about my list? How do you feel about it? All right. Are there any other free agents that you would covet? A bit more highly than some of the guys that I mentioned. I want you guys to let me know what you think, though. All right, but it's FYF Sports. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video. We'll be back with more sports and news. As free agency news develops and changes, we'll be dropping videos on it. But until then, it's FYF Sports, and we're out.